Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am glad to welcome you on this snowy day in Riga, at Riga Business School for our MBA and Executive MBA Open Hour. During this 1 hour, you'll be able to ask your questions and find out more about the common things and also differences between our MBA programs, and also more about Riga Business School. Thank you for joining us here today. I will be the moderator of the event. My name is Elza Priede. I am Professional and Executive MBA Programs Coordinator at Riga Business School. I will give the virtual floor to the director. First, I will give the virtual floor to the director of Riga Business School, Jānis Grēviņš. Welcome.
Thank you, and good afternoon, everybody who is watching. Maybe for somebody it's early morning, so good morning, or good evening for those who are ahead of us on the globe. It's really my pleasure to talk to you today and welcome you to Riga Business School and to this open hour. I think the MBA programs, professional MBA has been the oldest MBA program in the Baltics. However, I think it's the fact that it has been the oldest and still going designates and describes our approach to the MBA programs to make it relevant at that moment when we offer it to the students. And it's really my pleasure to share with you some of the new things we have been adding to the programs, to our professional and executive MBA programs during the last couple of years. And one of them is definitely technology. RBS truly believes that technology it's not anymore the kind of the prerogative of IT guys. Oh, where is the IT guy who will fix our technology in our organization? In RBS view, technology today is a concern, opportunity, and also is a great thing for any organization. And as managers, you have to learn and be inspired by technology. And that's what we take very seriously at RBS. We have basically upgraded several courses with technology component. There are upgrade to technology courses, and there are different initiatives how you will be exposed to technology. What this technology world requires around us, it requires completely new skills and behaviors on how people interact with each other, how people are managed, how organizations are inspired, and how organizations are led. In one word, it requires a completely new approach to the leadership for technology-based world. This is a slogan what RBS is working for the last couple of years, and you will see it more and more taking place in different shapes in our programs, in our courses, and in the extracurricular activities we do outside of the classroom with our students. How we fill up that with the content, we have worked with several partners over the last couple of years to fulfill that promise with the content. RBS is currently the project manager for the most substantial faculty development program in the history of Latvia, and that is truly focused on digital only. We coordinate our faculty training in University at Buffalo in the how to deliver the new digital courses. And just recently, we signed the agreement with the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in Boston about offering their content to our students. On the top of the content, we provide also the live mentors who help you to master the subject matter, so that at the end of the program at RBS, you can be sure that your knowledge and skills matches to the ones in leading global universities. That's our key objective. And that's our kind of key formal benchmark we are looking at. By studying here, you can be sure that you have mastered the subject matter at a compatible level with the global universities. So this is what we bring to the table. I think what that requires from the students is some of inspiring, challenging, and rewarding hard work. But in my belief, as I look around the world, management is something which requires a lot of innovations, a lot of inspiration, and also a lot of kind of going around and seeing what happens and being proactive in developing your own way. For that, the serious knowledge and really a confidence in the knowledge, really what makes a difference and makes the people to succeed. And in that respect, I wish you all to succeed in your careers, in your training ambitions and your training work, whether that's with RBS or without RBS. However, at the end of the day, encouraged to look at what RBS has to offer and see how you can join RBS community. Thank you, and have an inspiring hour and ask a lot of questions to my colleagues. Thank you. It was really a pleasure.
Thank you, Yanis. Now, MBA Programs Director, Aldis Greitans will share some administrative information and program details. If you have any questions during that time, I encourage you to write in the chat box or save them for the Q&A session. Aldis, the Zoom is yours.
Yep. Hello to everyone. So as Elza told, I'm Aldis Greitans, MBA and Executive MBA Program Director of Riga Business School, and Elza herself, she's Assistant Director to those programs, and we both are in charge of master programs in Riga Business School. It's a little bit unusual to me because usually I have tens of slides. This time I have only 8 slides. And my task is to introduce you briefly to those programs within 15 minutes. I'll try my best. So about the programs, first of all, whom those programs are intended. Professional MBA is for managers, for people which are employed and which are in the beginning of their careers, who want to understand how the companies works, how organization works, how entrepreneurship works, and to get the knowledge, to get the skills which they may need in their further career development to advance forward in an organization. Executive MBA is for C-level managers or managers which are approaching the C-level. And this program is intended to update the knowledge, to provide top-edge knowledge to persons which already reached certain heights in their careers and are planning to either to probably move to another position or are planning to do major changes in their organizations or something like this. So the differences between programs, beyond that, what I just told, is that in professional MBA, you are studying for 2.5 years. There is some flexibility or quite a bit of flexibility actually in this program. If you start in normal pace, then you can graduate even in 1.5 years, or we calculate 2.5 years, while if you decide for some reasons, or those family reasons or other reasons, to skip a semester, then you have maximum time 6 years. So the flexible, you can tailor your own schedule and you can be flexible on this. We have trimester system, fall, spring, and summer, and basically you can take 1 to 4 courses per trimester. However, our advice is to take no more than 2 courses courses just because of the workload. Please keep in mind that you also have some workload during the day in your current occupation. And actually, to take more than 2 courses, you will have to ask my permission. Classes are held in evenings from Monday through Friday from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And we offer also three specializations. That's marketing, IT, and finance, and of course, general professional MBA. In executive MBA, the schedule is pretty much different. The duration of the program is 20 months, and it consists of 4 modules. Executive MBA students are coming to Riga Business School once per month for so-called extended weekend, which means Thursday to Saturday, and they are here learning here for a whole day from 9 to 9. The Executive MBA program also includes 2 study trips where we go to see what's going on one trip in Europe to learn business practices, administrative practices of some Europe country, and then the transcontinental business trip where we try to reach different continents, and also to get introduced to businesses in the country we choose, get introduced to the business practices and traditions and economical situation in that particular country we are visiting. The most important part, and that's really distinctive not only between professional MBA and executive MBA, but this is also something which makes our executive MBA program different from other programs which are around in this region, is leadership development practicum. This is a course, if I can to call it, which in this way, which continues all 20 months, and the students, executive MBA students, under guidance of our, I should say, coaches or mentors, are developing their leadership skills. They start with developing themselves to be better persons, and continue to be with developing themselves to be better leaders in their working place, and to be better team leaders or organizational leaders. So, and this actually leadership development practicum is one of the probably most important things which all our executive MBA graduates admitted that this was the very interesting and probably the best experience during the studies. Of course, both programs have also common things. First of all our curriculum, everything, both in professional MBA and executive MBA, everything is in English. Then both programs have 9 core courses and 6 elective courses, plus they have capstone project. Also, we are providing international faculty. We have faculty members from United States, from Argentina, and not surprisingly from Europe. Our curriculum is built based on American experience, which means that we will have a lot of actually self-studies. We will have you may have a lot of case studies and projects developed both individually and in groups as group works, and which probably is also very important. We require average grade to graduate from average grade of 8 to graduate from Riga Business School. Don't be afraid. Actually, I do not recall the cases when students were not able to graduate because of this requirement, and it is not because it is easy to get that great in Riga Business School, but it is because we have very smart students, and by working hard, they actually always manage, or almost always manage, to achieve this this average grade. Requirements for admission. So what we are asking from you to be admitted in Riga Business School is bachelor's degree or equivalent. We also are testing English proficiency. Here you can see on the slide our minimum requirements. And we are asking for some working experience. So to apply for professional MBA, we are asking for at least 2 years of employment. For executive MBA, we are asking for 5 years in managerial role, not necessarily in C-level, but we want to see persons which have 5 years experience as managers or similar in similar roles. Talking about the degree, so you will get internationally accredited Master of Business Administration degree from Riga Business School of Riga Technical University. And we also issue to our graduates certificate of recognition from University of Buffalo and University of Ottawa. So those are those two certificates, or those two papers which you can get after when you're successfully graduating from Riga Business School. Okay, and now I'm open to your questions, if any.
Thank you, Aldis, for briefly introducing our programs. If at this moment we don't have any questions yet, I would gladly move on to our next speaker, and maybe then some questions will show up. I would like to introduce Katrina Yudovitz. Wait a second, I will also show her slides. I'm sorry for this technical. Pause. There you go. Katrina Yudovitz is our executive MBA alumna, and she also holds 3 great positions that complement each other in her career. Katrina, the Zoom is yours.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for inviting me here. I'm really happy to be here and to share my experience. And as you mentioned, Elsa, so after 25 years in executive positions in the retail business, 2 years ago, I decided I'm ready to share my knowledge to the world. So that was time to move to some other challenging and exciting assignments in my life. And actually that was a very purposeful decision to go to the social field. And I'm also initiator of Mood program in Latvia. So I'm global CEO for Mood Foundation, which is organization working for youth, strengthening youth life, with a goal to give world the best future leaders and to make the world a better place, more inclusive place. So 1/3 of my current life work goes to social work. The second part is Latvian Children's Hospital, where I'm chairing for the 2nd year now. And this work is in governmental sector, in healthcare sector, and with COVID, you can imagine that's also quite a challenging and interesting assignment to be there and to lead also Children's Hospital for the best of the future children. And the third position, actually, I was just recently, yesterday, appointed as independent member of Swedbank Latvia. And you may ask, why, retail background, social work, chairing Children's Hospital, why bank, financial sector. I think that shows very much, where businesses are looking at and what kind of skill set also on the supervisory board level they are searching for. So I think that looking into the future long-term sustainable development, looking at what young generation actually is searching for. And I must say that through my career I have been very passionate about bringing value-based leadership to Latvia and also being mentor for future leaders. I really believe that that's what could make the difference in Latvia, but also in the world. Because the times where we are living at this point are very full of uncertainty, polarity, split, and the question what future leaders, what kind of qualities they really need. And I'm happy to see what Jānis said, that RBS is going into this innovation and inspiration, technologies, digitalization. That's all what today is on agenda for all schools. But what I would like to add to that is actually that future leaders will need ability to live in this uncertainty. I think it will be our normal life not to have 5-year strategy plan or 10-year strategy plan, but to have ability to adapt, to be very flexible in the world at this point. So I would say the combination of smart, knowledgeable, personalities with very good academic background in combination with smart, holistic leadership approach. That's where the world is going to. I was also happy to hear that RBS cooperating with MIT. And actually, I would like to quote one MIT professor, Otto Scharmer. Probably you know him already very well, because one of his books are published also in Latvian, Theory U. And what he said, it doesn't matter what are you doing, in which business field, or what is your occupation, but the most important thing is from which place you are leading. So I have been through the personal journey myself, when I started with PepsiCo snacks more than 20 years back in my career, and I was very much leading by head, let's say, very pragmatic, very focused, very profit oriented. And only after some years I realized that my way of leadership is to lead through people. I really love to achieve high goals, but the way how I love to do it is through people and together with people. So you as the future leaders, that there always will be this balance or tension between profit making and to give the best to the employees and to other stakeholders. And this is not anymore like, wishful thinking, but it's already must on agendas on all big businesses. And, that's what big leaders and top executives are searching for. Actually, one very interesting research, what AMROP talent research showing, that actually top leaders, they're ready to quit their employers just because if they don't see purposeful, meaningful, long-term thinking from their bosses, if they don't see the freedom, if they don't see diversity in the workplace, if they don't see ECG strategy, which is environmental, social, governance approach. So I think it's also very big pressure from the new generation, what is coming up, and what the new generation is willing. Actually, they are already big change makers, and they're willing, to be very idealistic in the way. And what they request from their leaders is also this purposeful thinking and strategies. And they insist, and that's what we can see, who are in the climate demonstrations on the streets, who are the ones who are, pushing top leaders to answer how their business can contribute to the employees and also to society as a whole. So I think this combination, again, very good knowledge, academic background, together with human skills and emotional intelligence is one of the top topics at this point, and also creative classes actually on the top educational academic approaches to be able to develop students and to develop future managers as holistic personalities. So it's not about just head and heart, but it's actually also about spiritual and physical intelligence, by the way. So if you ask me, and I have received some questions, what is really, the tasks of the future leaders, then I would say 3. And the first one is actually ability to lead yourself. And because if you want to lead others, you need to be self-aware of your own agenda, of your own intentions, of your own, purpose of why you do things. So the second is ability to lead the team and to build the team and to create the team that complement each other, that are ready to have this inspirational, innovative, and learningful environment to reach the goals. And the third is, of course, to create business concepts that are really, not just serving the goals and profitability of shareholders, but actually also serving for the best of society. That's my true belief. So what else I would like to mention? You asked me else also about RBS and my experience when I graduated more than 10 years ago already back. So I really want to encourage you to step into this exciting, study process. That was really intense. All this I can agree. It's not easy game. It's not easy path. So if you're ready to work hard, and then what I learned is actually learn to learn in a way. To have this ability to see the global approach and this international way of getting teachers and worldview on different topics where we were digging in. I really enjoyed the network and my classmates, and I think that's of really great value because the diversity of people whom you will meet will be really great. and the exchange of different business, practices and views that made new friendships and new business relations and even new businesses. So we are still very good friends. So thanks again to RBS for the great time. And I wish you a lot of new future leaders who will go through your education programs. Thank you. I'm open for questions as well.
Thank you, Katrina, for finding the time to join us from sunny Tenerife and sharing your experience as an executive in business world and also as an executive, as a student here at Riga Business School. I see and I recognize a couple of names here in the Zoom call. I see that some of you are interested in our professional MBA program and some of you are interested in an executive MBA program. I would like to invite you to use this opportunity to ask the question or more questions that you have to Katrina as executive MBA alumna. And I myself have also graduated from our school, from the MBA program. Aldis has also actually graduated from the MBA program. So we have studied in different times. Maybe you want to ask something to us. I don't see any questions in the chat box yet. Then maybe I will ask my question to Katrina. Katrina, what was your biggest challenge when you were studying?
Easy question. The biggest challenge was actually to study during the weekends because of the family and it was very intense time. But at that time I think it was a bit different setup. But anyway, we were studying in the weekends. So work hard during the week and then study hard during weekends, but no regrets, never.
Yeah, it's a very big project to manage, and that's what we typically say to both of our MBA programs potential students. You have to manage your time and you will learn how to do it better during the studies, and that will be one of your big challenges. It's typically I need allowance from your work and allowance from your family to come and study in the program. They will really need to support you many times. Aldis, maybe you can share your experience as an MBA student.
Well, that was a long time ago. I graduated in 96, but I want to be original. Actually, the biggest challenge was time. Basically, the load was quite significant, and basically we had quite a bit of homeworks and everything. So it's not that you are coming only to lectures and then you have to find the time also to do home reading. I should tell that nowadays there is not that much home reading as it was back in the 90s. And then the group works and everything, group projects, case studies, and all the write-ups, because again, that was the time when basically very few people had the emails and very few people had access to computers. So all the writing was basically for most of the people by hand. It was actually more time consuming. Otherwise, it was exciting time, I should say, because and this is also our current students admitted that not only the time you are spending in class is interesting and important, but also the breaks are interesting because during the breaks you have possibility to chat with your colleagues and to get different type experience and exchange ideas and so on and so on. And I know that quite a few actually job-related questions have been solved in corridors of Riga Business School, exchanging opinions with classmates.
Thank you, Aldis. I have received one question, and it is, Elsa, please share your 3 takeaways from MBA studies. And I would have to say one of those is classmates, as Katrina said. I'm still also friends with many of my classmates. And in the MBA program, you actually meet many people during the studies, since the studies are course by course based. You don't go in one cohort with a group of people, but rather you select your study pace course by course. However, executive MBAs, as they start in one cohort, they move throughout the 2 years together. And then, of course, the knowledge, you get a broad perspective of business management and actually a very different view of the world. You start thinking about multiple disciplines at the same time. You see the bigger picture. And also, the third big takeaway from my studies was my master thesis was a manuscript for a workbook, for a self-leadership workbook. I also see more questions. Elena is asking, could you comment more on the lecturers? How are they chosen? What percentage is from Latvia? Aldis, do you want to comment on the faculty members? What I can share is that the lecturers are chosen, typically they are industry leaders. So most of our lecturers are working professionals. And also they have had either work or study experience abroad.
Yeah, Elsa already disclosed already half of our secrets. The most important thing is that our lecturers have experience in what they are teaching. Professional experience, because well, you cannot teach what you don't know, what you haven't touched with your own hands. That's one thing. Another thing, we are looking for people, as I also said, with international experience, because we see our goal as in preparing the people not only for local but global careers. And basically, with the years, more and more we see more and more people already developing internationally already during the study time. Talking about foreign faculty, about third of our faculty is not from Latvia. And honestly to say, COVID in a way accelerated the involvement of non-local faculty, if we can call so, because right now people are getting used to online, and it's much more easier to invite a faculty person or a guest lecturer, not only from Latvia, to come to Riga Business School, but from abroad to connect to Riga Business School, to a class in Riga Business School. So this is this proportion probably is changing during the last times.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Aldis. Elena also asks how the destinations for study trips are actually chosen. Are there any preferences?
Preferences are related to our, basically we try to choose for transcontinental trips, we try to choose, and also actually for European trips, we try to choose the places where we have partner schools, partner business schools. So naturally one of the destinations is United States, University of Buffalo. We have also partners in Norway. We have partners in South Africa. However, these days probably it may be difficult to go to South Africa. We have partners in China, in South Korea. We have acquired recently partner in Japan. So those are typically the destinations of transcontinental business trips.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also I would like to add that at first, when we didn't have those that many study trips and partners, we wanted to go to a different location every other year, and just so we would have global connections all over the world. And then the specific group actually gets a certain voice in choosing the direction and the destination of the study trip. We typically ask the students, would they be more interested in Asia or America? And we try to cater to that specific group as much as possible. Of course, if everyone wants to go to a different direction, then there must be a decision made by the school, but typically the group also has some preferences. Ilse asks, could the speakers comment what is the advantage of completing a full MBA or EMBA program rather than taking individual courses of interest? And maybe I can start first, and then I will ask Aldis and Katrina to also comment as we have graduated from our programs. And I would say that the business education in its essence helps people to connect the dots between different disciplines. And if you only study what you are interested in, you don't even get to exposed to other topics. So I would definitely suggest the whole program, of course. And then on top of that, you can take the advanced or elective courses in the subject matter that you are most interested in. Katrina? And also the transdisciplinary education allows you to innovate further on. So if you study different topics, then new ideas come up and you see the world differently. Katrina, do you want to go next?
Yes. My motivation actually to go for the full executive MBA program was when I was appointed as CEO of Northwestern Baltic. And of course, I had already, my educational background and MBA and experience in business, but that was somehow, very important addition to what I had before. And as I mentioned, and also you as well, this networking, you need time to build up relationship with people, and also, outside the school, these homeworks, readings, project groups. I think it was really great value. So I could, in a way, level out different knowledges in different fields. So, for example, finance was the most critical and interesting for me at that point. But obviously, international marketing suddenly became a very exciting and useful topic for me now, because only at this point in my life where I could say that yes, that was very, very valuable, and probably the whole study process plus professional experience that's created me who I am today.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Katrina, for sharing your experience. Aldis, do you want to add to what we said?
Yeah, basically you mentioned the right word, which is interdisciplinary. That's what we are supposed to provide, probably instead of focused master studies in some other Latvian universities. Because and that comes from my personal experience. At some stage of your career, you will suddenly recognize that your focused knowledge, I know, for instance, in marketing is not enough to actually even not to go ahead, but to understand the context of what you are doing. At some moment, being in marketing, for instance, you you will recognize that you should understand something in corporate finances, in accounting, actually, how the cost is calculated, or you have to understand something in business processes, how this or that product is working, or this or that service is working. And basically, also, I even cannot imagine the managerial field or any other field in a company where you can go ahead without at least basic knowledge of IT. So we are trying to, instead of focused knowledge, we are providing the context. Context how the company is working. So basically, that's why we are suggesting to take full course.
Thank you. And also, of course, the logical consequence is also the degree itself. Many people come not right after, but they come after their bachelor's degree, and they wish to also have a master's level degree, or their job requirements ask for that. Any other questions? Maybe someone who is online, may I ask you, someone who is not, everyone's online, maybe someone who is here in Zoom, maybe you want to share if you have any concerns at the moment. If you wish, you can unmute yourself, or you can just write in the chat box. Are there some things that you still would like to know about before or while applying? All right, no questions at the moment. Anyhow, if any questions come up, please contact me. I will share my contacts here. Feel free to approach me if you wish to schedule a quick call, or if you have any questions about the application process itself, or if you would like to know more details about the program. I can share my experience both as an employee and as a graduate of this program. I would be happy to provide more information for you. Aldis, do you wish to say any closing words? From me, I would like to encourage you to take the ownership of your life and career and go further, take yourself and take other people to next level.
Yeah, thank you. You're all for participating in our open hour, and I hope that we will meet in real life, in Riga Business School. Thank you.
Thank you. I wish you a great rest of the day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Paldies, Katrīne.
Paldies
Sveici,
par
Jānis.
aicinājumu.
Atā.
Atā.
Paldies.